Again, this is Tim with C&D Farms, and today's video I'm going to do a product review, and actually this week's video, so I may have two videos this week. I've done a video talking about our house and our foundation, and if you saw the last video, you'll probably recognize I'm still on the same snowy ground. So two videos this week probably. I wanted to kind of put that out maybe a day or two apart. But anyway, I am going to do a product review. This is, and I just got this, I just learned, I have flown it once. But this is a RUKO, kind of like a Ruko F11 GIM folding quadcopter. So that's what I got. It's kind of a budget, I got it on Amazon. So kind of a budget buy. It's not as pricey as some of the other ones. But so far, what I've done with it, it seems pretty neat. It'd be a good beginner drone. I'm not saying it's something that a professional or something like that would want to use, you know, constantly. In fact, I just found a setting to take it off of beginner mode. I may leave it on beginner mode for a little bit longer. I do know that beginner mode, and pretty much it's not going to get more than 50 feet from you or from where it takes off at. It's got limitations, so wherever you set it down to take it off, 50 foot, probably that's as far as it's going. Maybe 100 feet, I'll have to check the settings on that. So once you take it off of beginner mode, then you can set the parameters. You can set how high your altitude that you want, and you can set the distances away from the takeoff spot. But me, I've never flown one before, so this is my first one. So it was pretty easy to fly, and I haven't seen any of the videos. I did take some video, and I'm going to take some more. I'll try to put that in with this video as well as we take it off. But just to kind of give you a unboxing of this one. So for me, as a beginner, or as maybe a person, you know, if you've got one of your children that want to learn, it says 14 and up, but I have a feeling that younger kids can fly this far better than I can. So I would say, but that's what the book has. It's got 14 and up. So for me, as a new or a first-time drone purchase, I'm pretty satisfied with it at this point. Now, I've only flown it once. I did use it for one battery. I practiced with it, kind of getting used to the flight controls. The one thing I do like, it does have a GPS, so it's not a one of the drones that you may buy like on the side of the street that doesn't have GPS. So it does have GPS on it, so it will come back to your home. If you hit the home button, it comes back and lands pretty close. I'm using a bale of shavings as my takeoff, and when I landed it, it landed just behind it. But so it's pretty good. It brought it right back to within 5 feet of that spot, and it does take it up to a certain altitude when you hit the home button, so that it, you know, tries not to hit something. Now this one doesn't have, like more expensive drones do have obstacle avoidance, stuff like that. This one doesn't have that. So there again, it's the Ruko F11 quadcopter. I'll try to get it, you know, you can kind of see it does have a 2-axis gimbal for the camera. And let me get the controller. I'll bring that over here. So I'm going to set this down right here on our little makeshift launch pad. I may try to get one of the launch pads, and I do have my phone attached to the controller, so you can kind of see you've got your throttle and your directionals. This is kind of side to side, forward and reverse, and you can kind of turn the copter, and then it does have a phone. It does fit a pretty good size, not going to fit a you know, probably a tablet. And I've got it pretty much maxed out. Let me kind of back up a little bit. I've got it pretty much maxed out because I've got a Apple, and then I've got a OtterBox case on it. So that case makes my phone a little bit wider. So, but so far, works pretty good. You can kind of see it's got power, got your return to home. It's got an emergency stop button, so if something happens. It does have 3 settings. You got camera mode, normal mode, and sport mode. Pretty much all I've done is camera mode, which is the slowest mode, what I've read in the book. And I've also, and it's still in beginner settings. So I'm really limited on what I can do with it, but I want to kind of get used to the controllers. So I do like that part of it, you know. So that's why I say this would be an excellent, budget-friendly. You can get it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description where I got it off of Amazon. Budget-friendly camera or quadcopter if you wanted to, you know, just do some, you know, stuff around your house. And I know it's, and I need to read up on all of the drone laws, but to be honest, for me, I'm on 130 some acres. I don't have a house in sight of me. I'm in a wide open field. And this is pretty much the only place I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it for stuff that I do around on the farm. I was gonna use it for some of the stuff to update some content that I may have with the YouTube channel. So I'm not gonna be flying it over people. I'm not gonna be in public settings. The only thing I'm gonna videotape is some cows and livestock. So pretty much right here, and I'm not gonna be outside of my line of sight because this thing won't, I don't know how far it'll go away when you take it out of beginner mode, but right now, 100 foot as far as it's gonna get away from me. And when I'll put it up here in just a second, you'll actually hear it. It'll say distance, past the distance. My phone, it'll start talking to you and tell you height restrictions has been met and your distance away from the home point has been met. So we're going to leave it in beginner mode. I may do some more videos about this drone in the future. So stay tuned. We'll do we'll start it up and do some flights with it, and then I'll kind of put that video in, try to figure out how to put that video in with the flights. All right, so we're going to start the video or start this drone up. The first thing we got to do, I've got a new battery on it, is per the instructions, is we're going to turn the drone on. All right. After the drone kind of calibrates, then it says that we need to turn on the power to the controller. All right, so I've got the power to the controller. It's been connected. I can tell by the flashing lights on the drone that it's been connected. All right. Now I need to get my phone going. So, because the next thing I need to do is open up the app. It does submit a Wi-Fi signal. So once you get the app going, go to my settings, and I've got my Wi-Fi. So turn on your Wi-Fi. The drone puts off a Wi-Fi signal, and now we've got to calibrate the drone. The first thing we've got to do is pick it up. You got to turn a complete 360. And by the way, it does tell you all of this on the drone, on the app. Next thing we got to do is camera facing down. Do a 360 with that. And then it says set it back down again. So I took the controllers and pushed them out. That sets the camera. And now on my app, it shows ready to fly. And I don't know how to, I can kind of bring this over here. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. I don't know how to necessarily mirror the screens. So anyway, it says ready to fly. So one of the things that you can do with this drone is, once I get it started, so you have to pull both of the controllers inside to you. So I'll kind of show you. Is we'll pull both of them in. All right. So now that starts the motors. So as you can see, the motors are going. Now I can either take off, but one thing I do like about this one is I can click on the app, and it's got, it takes off for you. Oh, I took too much time. So I got it going. And as you can see, it took off. I'll kind of, so one of the things, I've got the camera view now, so I'm gonna lay this book down, lay my instructions down. So I've got my camera view, and I'll try to put the camera from the drone on the video at this point as I talk about it. So you can kind of move up and down. That's kind of my altitude. And then I can go forward. And I'm gonna kind of show you right now, it's in beginner mode. You'll probably hear it.
Distance limited.
So distance limited. I don't know if you've heard that. It actually brings it back to a certain point. So I'm gonna kind of, I can turn it. So here we are. You can kind of see me. I'm kind of flying it, kind of moving it side to side. You just got to remember, when you're facing towards it, the camera, it's backwards from your controllers. Anybody's watching this,
Distance limited.
So you saw where it hit my distance limited again. So you can take a camera. I'm gonna kind of pan it down so I can control the camera panning by the controller. I can also do a little bit of a zoom. It doesn't have the best camera. I can zoom in a little bit. So like I say, it's a budget friendly drone, but looks pretty good. So like I say, there's zoomed in pretty good right there. And all right, let's we'll kind of turn it around. I'm gonna hit my distance limited again, because I do have it kind of away from me a little bit. So let's do an altitude check. Let's see how we go on that. So we're gonna go on up. We'll get to a point where it says distant altitude limited.
Height limited.
Height limited. So that's our current height. So, and this is probably in meters, so it says 30 meters. And my distance is 28 meters. I don't think I've changed that to feet. So that's 30 meters is the height. It's showing on the thing. So we can kind of, let's pan around, kind of look some of the farm area. That's my driveway. Again, we're on the farm, but we hadn't started construction yet, but we did build a driveway. Kind of pan around. Wind's blowing a little bit up there. You can kind of see the where we had fed the cows. There's the cows. Kind of bring it back down a little bit. So there's the back side of the farm right there. Again, I can't get but so high right now. Let's raise the camera back up. So for a budget-friendly drone, this is not too bad. It says that it's got a 28-minute flying time. I did fly right much of it with the other battery that I had. It comes with 2 batteries, so not a bad deal for me, I think. So it's pretty easy to fly. I'm talking to you as a person that has never flown a drone before. This is kind of where our house is going to be. I don't know if you can see kind of the orange stakes. Let me
Distance limited.
see. I hit distance limited again. You can kind of see my orange stakes in the ground right there. Let me get my camera a little tricky on it. So there's the orange stakes. Kind of hard to see with the snow. I'm flying it right there. There's my truck. Take the camera back up.
Distance limited.
See, I'm distance limited. So, all right, I'm gonna spin it back around.
Height limited.
So I'm height limited. And so we're gonna come back down, bring the altitude down a little bit. You can kind of see. It does hold. The wind's blowing a little bit here today. I'm gonna bring it down and try to spin it. Get some lower footage. There we are right there. So here's kind of a lower footage. So again, it's not a bad camera. Not a bad quadcopter. For a budget friendly thing. Hey, that's a good. There's some other features. So, yep, lost my. See, I got my distance again. So we're gonna come back here. Gonna do a fly over the house.
Distance limited.
So see, while you're practicing with it, you got to kind of get used to that distance. So we're gonna go this way, kind of fly. Kind of practicing with it. Get some altitude. That's pretty good. So we'll see how far once we get to our distance.
Distance limited.
Distance limited, 35 meters. It actually brings it back to you. So all in all, we're going to say that it's a pretty decent drone for a budget friendly. And we're going to hit the home button and kind of see what it does. So one thing I'm going to kind of watch is when we hit the home button last time, I may move the camera a little bit here. I'm going to move the other camera. It didn't quite land it on that thing, so I'm going to hit the home button.
Return home.
It says return home.
Down.
Yep. So you got to be careful. There we go. So that's the only thing with the home. So and we'll stop it. Well, welcome back to C&D Farms, and this is kind of the closing of the Ruko F11 quadcopter. Let me get that word out. Anyway, I done the closing the day of. As you can tell, this is not the same day that we done the review. This is a few days later. I went to do the editing and found out that the closing had I don't know, something had deleted it, or it didn't record. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of do a real closing and just talk a little bit about the quadcopter, or that that tool. Could be a tool, could be a toy, however you want to look at it. But as I said, it was a budget-friendly item. I will have a link on YouTube. We'll have a link in the description on the YouTube page. So just look for that link and kind of go from there. So if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you like our content. I got a little bit of surprise. Today we got some hay delivered, and so the next video I'll explain why we've got hay. If you followed some of our videos, you know that we sold a lot of our animals, but the next video will show you 2 new animals that we've got at our current location, which is right here. So I may kind of give it away a little bit, but as you know, we've got pigs, but we've got 2 more. We've got 2 more animals, and you can probably tell from what's behind me what it may be. So stay tuned for the next video where we talk a little bit more about the farm and about the 2 new animals that we've got. Until then, this is Tim with C&D Farms.